Welcome back on the still this morning on ITV. And this morning we'll clearly be looking at issues that have to do with security, as well with the state of kidnapping, murder, and so many things happening right there. Joining me this morning to take a critical look at that is no other person than Consultant Babangida Discusses, defense consultant and security analyst with over 18 years of experience when it comes to issues related to security. It's a pleasure to have you this morning.
Thank you so much. Let's
see the ground. Let's talk about some major issues right there. When we talk about security, it's a major problem. We can call it a cankerworm that sits deep into the fabrics of our society. How do you think we got to this place?
Okay, thank you so much once again for having me here, and it's my pleasure to be here to talk about security, which has become insecurity, which has become the prevailing issue here in this our country. And like you rightly said, how do we get here? It's always the question. How do we get here? How comes we are where we are in terms of insecurity in the country? But you know, if you want to solve security, you have to identify certain things, you know, that are very, very key and paramount. One of those things is identifying the root cause of the insecurity that we are facing. You understand? And trust me, we cannot attain development in an area where insecurity has become the order of the day. So they work hand in hand with you and one of my lecturer, blessed memory, Professor Osakwe, he always say that if you want to achieve sustainable development, you have to look at the connection between security and development. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like a child and a mother. You know, the child depends on the mother for survival, and then the mother is happy with the child. You know, so it's work hand in hand. So, but security, the way we look at it in this present dispensation, I think we are kind of shifting from what it should be, you know, and I thank God for this avenue. I would like to share with us basically idea on how we can actually tackle insecurity in this country. And like I say, one of the things is that we ignore the mechanisms that are supposed to be in place in terms of identifying a root cause. Okay, take for instance what is going on in Delta State, and that is quite unbelievable. That is quite unimaginable. I can't imagine my country losing that number of officers and personnel, you know, on internal mission, on internal security mission. We don't lose such numbers when we go for outside external mission. And then here we are in our country, and then we are losing that kind of number, you know, to insecurity. It's quite unbelievable. And my sincere condolences to the families of the deceased, and I pray that God will find a way to comfort them. But then again, this is where we are. So it goes a long way to tell us that so many things are not in order. So many things are wrong. You get what I'm trying to say? It's just brings so much questions, you know, that you want to look at. And I feel like our leaders and the president will also need to look at the situation that we are right now, and what is the way best that we can use to curb this, you know. So, and like I said, it's not just when you have issues, when you have conflict in a certain region in the country, deploying men is not just enough. Okay, like I said, you have to deploy men with strategy. You have to also, you know, get men that are experts in conflict resolution. Like they say, the communal issue, the army killing, proper mediation. Exactly, there have to be a proper mediation. There have to be experts who actually understand the terrain, understand what is going on here, and then information gathering and all of that. And then another cause of insecurity in this country is as a result of the arms are in the wrong hands. You know, proliferation of arms is something that is affecting us badly, regionally, and even as a country as a whole. You know, statistics has it as at May 2019. Geneva survey clearly state that we have well over 10 million illegal arms in West Africa. 10 million as at 2019. I'm sure by now the number is times probably, because of the regional issues going, insecurity going on around the region. So that 10 million now, and they stop at that. They went ahead to say that 70% of that figure is believed to be in Nigeria. You know what I mean? 70%. So that is 7 million illegal arms in circulation in Nigeria. What is our population of our security agencies? We imagine having 7 million criminals in possession of arms. So this is the effect now. This is how we got to where we are now. Nobody is looking at that, and I feel like it's high time our government look into this critically and tackle this flow of these arms and ammunition, these illegal arms in the country. Until that is done, that is one of the areas I feel that we have to do to tackle that insecurity, because you cannot have personnel of over 15 number ambushed, including a commanding officer. Come on, that is unheard of.
How do you juxtapose this? In the light of the number of ammunitions available within the country, just like you said, there are 7 million ammunitions available within the conflict of Nigeria. And people are also saying they should give people the right to bear arms. How do you not juxtapose it? We are trying to talk about proliferation of arms, public proliferation of arms, and some people are saying we should also give people the right to bear arms. How do you balance it?
We will be in a very serious war, trust me. We will be in a very, because the dissatisfaction from the people is already on the high level. So imagine everyone having to bear arms, and people just be selling it will be anarchy. That's just the truth. It will be anarchy. But that being said, still on the issue of arms, I think there is a blueprint. There is an ECOWAS blueprint that mandates all member states to set up an institutionalized system that will control this arms. And the reason we are here as a nation is because we have not taken cognizance, we have not taken it seriously. Yes, the last administration, I remember very well that when the mandate came in 2006, and as ECOWAS convention, where my member states were asked to set up a commission that will do that will control these arms and the proliferation of illegal weapons and all of that. So they said Nigeria said the ball rolling, no doubt, and I know for a fact there was a news that was temporarily put in place. Why? Because setting up a commission for that has to go through the legal process and all of that. So while that was going on, after sometimes around 2021 to be precise, 2021 in May, the then president, gave an instruction to establish a center for the control of arms as a temporary means. You understand? Exactly where the legal process. Is that not NATCOM you're talking about? No, that's not NATCOM. That's NCCC. That's National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons. It's domiciled in the office of the NSA. Yes. So that was a temporary measure that was put in place in 2021 as a short-term measure while the process is undergoing legislative process for the setting up of a national commission. Fast forward to today, if you could say that it's long overdue because the bill was passed in the National Assembly for the establishment of Commission on Arms and awaiting assent. So now the government, the public, everybody is asking, okay, how can this come on board to complement the effort of the center? You get what I'm trying to say? And the setting up of the center was done in such a way that it has a regional offices. Enugu, Calabar, Ekiti, Kaduna, and I think Maiduguri. Yes, these are where they have geopolitical zones, and then the national headquarters here in the office of the NSA. So, but that is the structure that was set, like I said, a temporary structure. Now, if you have commission should be able to go down to the world level. Yes. You get what I'm trying to say? State, the local level, because that is the critical means or way you can actually curtail or check the proliferation of arms at all levels. I mean, they're coming through the sea line, they're coming through the border lines and all of that. So you need to have an institutionalized system, mechanized system that institutionalized system that will curb this from top all the way down. Yeah. And that is why ECOWAS needs that mandate for member states. You know, so I personally know that okay, there is a bill that was passed, and I feel like it's high time we do this and get the commission on board. If the president wants to harmonize with the center, if he wants to let the center go and then set up the commission, but I think the best way is to harmonize, because the center already has a structure which will save us resources. Yeah. Do you understand? Sort of setting up, and I mean the country doesn't have that money to start building up a new agency for that. So since there is an existing agency, and there's a donor agency called NATCOM, the one you mentioned, is a donor agency commission, you know, and probably they have a staff power of over 274,000. So that's leverage on NATCOM. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, you know, and if they can look at that, assent and harmonize with the center and the NATCOM, you know, so we can have a proper commission that will check the proliferation of arms, you know. Until that is done, the ammunition will keep coming in and it will keep going into the wrong hands, you know, and we are not going to have a way out of this insecurity. The second item I would like to talk about, we can employ as a nation to solve insecurity. Like I said, is to look at root cause, you know. What are the root causes? Some of the root causes are poverty, the rate of poverty in the country, inequality in the system, you know what I'm trying to say, and other, you know, economic factors that are not adding up based on the governance. So everything boils down to governance, you know, and if our government will look into it holistically and be sincere to the system and be sincere to the public, you know, I mean, it's not a rocket science. The solution is there, you know. ECOWAS are giving you way forward to check this, so that we don't keep having arms that are, you know, just imagine people having that power, that authority, because they don't use knives to ambush those guys. They have arms. Do you understand? So proper. And then when you have so ridiculous arms trading in the country, and they trade these arms, most sophisticated arms that even our men has. Kudos to the armed forces. They are doing all they could. They are doing their best. But trust me, governance plays a vital role, even in their own operations. So if you have a good governance who are more particular about security, because until you get security right, every other thing, every other program, every other developmental program you put in will not strive, will not thrive. You understand what I'm trying to say? Security is the first order of the day. Do you understand? Before any other thing, yes, I should be able to feel safe doing business in this country. Investors should be able to feel safe investing in the country. You know, every other sector of the economy is depending on how safe and secure Nigeria is. The environment is, how enabling the environment is. And now the environment is not enabling. You can imagine even our own security men with their arms and everything are vulnerable. Let me use that word. Because we do their own, yes, so what happens to ordinary man like you and I? We don't carry arms around, you understand? So that is the question that is arising, and until we treat that, we're just going to continue to have this insecurity prevailing.
So with the way things are right now, I think the government are trying to really see how can de-escalate this current situation. The initial response would have been, people are worried about what happened in the OD at one point in time, what happened in the Amati, what happened in Kwana. But the governors of the state, the governor of the state have been in dialogue with the presidency to see how we will now have a repeat of that. How can we curb this reoccurring of issues like this? We have even Diama too, we have the Lodi. The one in the Kwama could have also been a repeat of what they have in Lodi. How can we ensure that this kind of, there's the proper, you talk about mediation, there's the proper mediation that comes in, so issues of this nature don't keep reoccurring.
Okay, so the answer is pretty simple and straightforward. One of the thing I think the mechanism that the government needs to look into place is the issue of information gathering, intelligence. Okay, we need to strengthen the capacity of the intelligence of our agencies. You understand? And that is why we're still talking about the proliferation of arms, because that commission is meant to be an intelligent commission, whereby they go down to to grassroots and gather information on how these things are orchestrated. You know what I'm trying to say? So intelligence, I think our government needs to look into strategies, into intelligence strategies that are in line with best practices and modern technologies. The second reason is the issue of conflict resolution experts. Just 2 days ago, the Army rounded up a training at Martin Luther Leadership and Peacekeeping Center. They trained about 157 personnel that will be sent to South Sudan for peacekeeping operations under the United Nations. Now they are going there. You will see their mode of operation is quite different. They go there. They get attached to UN soldiers and every other soldiers that were sent from other countries. Now, aside the gunmen, the gun army, there are all experts, conflict experts, mediators that are coming from civil society that work with them as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So they go where this people doesn't need to appear. For instance, in our own case here in Nigeria, we need to also have such system whereby we have experts who are conflict resolution experts, working with our security agencies, in a peculiar cases, in a context where they need to come and understand how it's been, what is the issue, what is the root cause of the problem, and then they can report to the agency, and then the security agencies will know best how to approach such places. For instance, what's happening in Delta, if there's enough information gathering, trust me, these men will not be ambushed. Because they may not be familiar with the terrain, with the environment, the proper information will prevent them from falling into the hands of the enemies, because they are not there to fight war, they are there to engage. So I think it's important for them to understand what is the root cause, what is the problem, who are in crisis, and how the terrain works, so that they can be able to work effectively. So I think information gathering, intelligence, we need to work on our intelligence, we need to work on our conflict resolution, our framework within the country. And another thing we need to look at is collaboration. Interagency collaboration, yes, very, very important. I did my thesis in NDA on interagency collaboration, case study of Northeast, So, and I realized that over time that we have low level of interagency collaboration within our security architecture, and it's not good for the nation. It's not good for the security of the nation. We should have a high system whereby they work very well, the synergy, the common is protection of life and property, even it of the Nigeria. They have the same mission. That is the objective of having these security agencies. But on no ground should they now be working like they are independent of each other. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You are A&D, but we're working for this. Your resources might not be what I have, but I might need your resources at some point to achieve that goal. So that interagency collaboration, we need to look at it. Very, very important.
Okay, generally before I let you go, General about which particular agency should have should be able to determine when it comes to the ammunition that they are at disposal. And one major issue was how to deal with that of being inside the Office of National Security Agency. What do you make of this?
Okay, to respond to that, I would like to quickly take us to the evolution of small arms and light weapon framework in Nigeria. It started way back 2003 to 2009. Initially after 2009, it was what we call 2013 rather. It was a PESCOM, Presidential Commission on Arms and all of that. So till up until 2013, and then they didn't have the legal framework. Then it was a committee just come, and it was under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a unit under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So they lacked the framework, the legal framework to be able to harness into these border operations in proliferation of small arms and light people. Fast forward to the 2006 convention, then fast forward to 2019 and 2021, when they set up the National Center in 2021, Center for the Control. So when this center came in, it was, like I said, a temporary measure. But their mandate was part of their mandate was to take charge of these arms, also, provide advocacy, provide recommendation to the presidency when that has to do with the arms, and also every other mandate, But it was a temporary measure right now, and I'm telling you that it's high time we get this commission up and running, because commission will go deeper, will go broader, you understand? So now we could actually have it this way. They can harmonize the two. When the commission come on board, like I said, the complete in the hand of the president to decide if he wants to set up the commission and let them go, or he wants to marry the two together as one. But I think the best way, like I said, is to marry the two as one. Then the commission will be mandated with investigation, raid. Do you understand? Arrest and all of that. It's so bad that since 1999 till date, no single arms dealer is convicted. Arrested and convicted.
That's when you have the raw signal.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And it's not, that killing is happening, they are using it as a means of business.
So if you can have a public punishment, that will be meted out to arms dealers who violated some of these policy framework you talked about. That was also served as a deterrent to that.
Of course. So the position of the arms when seized, I think if they can harmonize the two bodies together, the outcome, like I know about them, is a donor agency. Do you understand? That already have a structure nationwide, from ward to federal level. Do you understand? So the government will not be spending much, bringing them on board, engaging them, and then assent and then have the proper structure for that.
I want to say a big thank you to you there, for joining us this morning, and also shedding light on this major issue, because it's a major thing that must be resolved to really be able to get to the bottom of this. I've been talking to Mr. Babangida Discusses, a defense consultant and security analyst with almost close to 2 decades of experience when it comes to security issues right there. I've given shedding light on the proliferation of light arms, and now the government can be able to combat it and limit the spread of it, especially. I'm talking about punishment for those who violate this policy. And let's hope that these policies can be put in place that can really help to reduce the number of people that have low arms at their disposal. That is been a lot of time this morning. We graduate from the Network Studio. We also be linking up with our Network Studio. It guys after this break.